Steph Curry isn't clutch. Wrong. Just so wrong. But it's the one thing that people hang over his head. This video is going to prove to you why not. In addition, CP3, Chris Paul going to... We're going to tell you what team is on the prowl for Chris Paul. Welcome to Warriors Digest. My name is Randy Silver. Before we dive in this video, take a look. Y'all, we've been around for 8 days. 20,000 views, 250,000 impressions, 220 plus subscribers. But look how many people are actually subscribed. Thank you for watching, but smash that subscribe button. We put out at least one video a day. You don't want to miss any of the Warriors news. Let's get into it. Steph Curry. He's not clutch. Wrong. He was just nominated for the Clutch Player of the Year. Stephen Curry of the Warriors, DeMar DeRozan of Chicago Bulls, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of Oklahoma City. You may be asking, what is the Clutch Player of the Year? I've never heard of it before. It's a new award that came out last year, so let's talk about it. It's the best person who comes through in the clutch for his team. Duh. The only person who's won? De'Aaron Fox. So, congrats to De'Aaron. He's been the reigning champion. But he'll have a new friend coming in this year. Who could it be? One of these three. Stephen, DeMar, and Shai. Before we dive into why Steph deserves it, let's show you actually the opposite. Who was not clutch this year? You'd be surprised. Who do you see on that list? DeMar DeRozan. 4 of 16. So, how is he on this list then? Obviously, there's much more that goes into it. This is worst field goal percentage with 1 minute left in the game or OT. He went 4 for 16. So in clutch time, what is clutch time? We should tell you that. Clutch time is the last 5 minutes of the game when it's within 5 points either way. So you're either winning or losing. Clutch time. DeMar DeRozan was 4 for 16 when it counted with under a minute. De'Aaron Fox was 2 for 8. Last year clutch, not this year. Whose name do you not see on this list? Steph Curry. But also you got Durant on here, Butler, Brunson, Brown. A lot of people were not clutch in the last couple minutes of the game, that last minute. Curry was, and we're going to show you. So clutch scoring leaders. Who's at the top? Stephen Curry. Cha-ching. Let's go. He scored 212 points when it mattered. 66 field goals made, 133 field goals attempted. DeRozan had 60, and who is not on that list? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Love Shai. He had an MVP caliber season, but he's not on most of the top 10 lists for clutch player. He was clutch because his team was so successful, but they did not play a lot of close games. One more time. They did not play a lot of close games. Warriors did. Bulls did. Steph shot 50% when it mattered most, and 45% from 3. Woo! And how did Steph shoot during the actual, throughout the season? During the whole season, Steph shot 40% from 3 and 45% from the field. When it mattered most in clutch time, Steph shot 50% from the field and 45% from 3. 5% better from the field. 5% better from 3. Steph is clutch. When the game's on the line, he puts it on the line. He makes plays for his team. Again and again. Not just 2s, 3s. That's why he deserves it. Also, look at his free throw percentage. 95%. You put him on the line, he's going to make it. What about late or close game scoring leaders? So what's a late or close game? This is when there's 2 minutes left in the game and the score is within 4 points. So 2 minutes left in the game, scores within 4 points. DeMar actually does better here in terms of points scored. 94 to Curry's 85. But look who's next. Shai, 57. He did not play a lot of close games. But look at the drop-off between Curry and DeRozan. Curry actually made more field goals, 27 for 58. However, look at the amount that DeRozan gets to the line. 42 free throws made out of 49. What a percentage. Curry, 18 for 20. DeRozan drives more. Goes for the layups, dunks. But also, what does he do so well? Pump fakes. He is the best in the league. And I'm very confident saying that. Mid-range, doing a pump fake, getting the guy up in the air, drawing the foul. That is not really Curry's game. He doesn't get fouled as much because he's shooting threes, and he doesn't get calls at the basket. However, look at the field goal percentage. DeRozan, 51%, Curry, 46%. Shai is 65%, so it's high, but again, just not enough opportunities. So now, let's take it even smaller. Game on the line scoring leaders. This means the last 24 seconds of the game when the game's within 3 points. It could be fourth quarter, it could be overtime. So, the clutch of the clutch. What does it look like? Curry's 12 for 22. DeRozan 7 for 18. 5 more shots Curry made this season when the game was within 3 points with under 24 seconds to go. Ice in the veins. DeRozan from 3, 0 for 3, 0 for 3. Curry, 5 for 9. So again, under 24 seconds in the game, down 3, he made 5 threes. Tied the game. Or they were down 2-1 and they took advantage and they took the lead. Clutch. Shai is not even on this list. Free throws. 4 for 5 Curry. Again, DeRozan just gets those free throws on the mid-range, on the buckets, 21 for 28. So that's why he has a bit more points. But when it matters most, the ball's in Curry's hands, he delivers. You may just be saying, you know what, Randy? Fine. You had one good season. No. Again, here's his career stats. And we talked about, hey, 45%, 40%, field goal, 3. And then when it mattered, game on the line, 54% field goal, 56% 3. 10% better. Woo! Clutch. His whole career, been clutch. Since 2003, Curry's 44% shooting when he's in clutch situations. Again, 5 minutes are left in the game within a 5-point game. Basically, every other shot he makes. Get the boy the ball and get him the hardware. He deserves the clutch award. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. Tell me why. But this is a stamp. He deserves it. And that takes us to topic 2. Chris Paul, point guard. Friendly reminder, he's a non-guaranteed free agent with the Warriors. $30 million. We have to pick that deal up. If we don't, he's a free agent. The Warriors are basically at the tax threshold, the first apron. So what are we going to do? Either have to pay the tax, which I know if you're not a playoff team, they don't want to do. They said it again and again. If we don't re-sign him, who is a potential team? It came out, San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs emerge as a Paul Suitor if they decide to pursue some veteran know-how on a short-term contract basis to furnish presumptive Rookie of the Year winner Victor Wembanyama with more season help in year 2. Why would that be beneficial? 1, Paul probably is a starter. He wasn't the starter with the Warriors, we know. However, he's not going to start with the Warriors. And he's going into his 21st season, and he says he wants to start. He wants to play more. So Spurs are a good spot. He used to live in Texas when he played for Houston. He knows the state well. He gets paid. There's no taxes there, income tax. But also, you get to teach Victor. And who doesn't want to go play with Victor? You get to be coached under Pop. Who doesn't want to be coached under Pop? And what does Victor do well? The pick and roll, which Chris Paul, bread and butter. Get the pick from Victor. He rolls, dishes it, alley-oop, layup, whatever. Stays on the 3, pass it. Or if they sag, Chris, what's his game? Mid-range shot, nails it. The cap, though, for the Spurs, what does it look like? Right now, they're $7 million over the cap. So if they want to spend a bit more and go to the tax, they could. If they're not going to be in the playoffs, they probably don't. However, they have the money to get rid of. If they get rid of Seti Osman, free agent, they don't sign him, boom, they're under the cap. Sandro, Dominic, Gorgu, and David, they could let go, not re-sign, and again, there's more money there under the cap. So the Spurs have the ability to sign him, either A, over the salary cap limit and not be in the tax penalty, or B, let some players go, and boom. Now you got a veteran point guard who will be able to be successful for the team. The Warriors have until mid-June to decide if they're going to re-sign Paul or not. Personally, as I said in the other video, I think they should re-sign him. Not at 30 million because that means we can't sign more players and we're going to be in the tax threshold and the penalty again. But hopefully a team-friendly deal. He wants to come back to the Bay. His family lives in SoCal. Steve Kerr was very, very generous with him. Flying down to visit his family. And a lot of times Chris actually talked about he would spend the night in LA, get on a flight at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., fly up to San Francisco. It's like an hour flight and be there for morning shoot around. So that way he's able to spend the day with his family in the evening, whatever it may be. You can't do that when you're playing in San Antonio. Too hard. So that could be something that, he factors at this age of his career. His kids are older, not wanting to be away from them. And two, of course, he's just a legend. He's mentored Brandon so well, mentored Trace Jackson Davis so well, the other young players. You want someone like him in your locker room and on your team. And lastly, the Spurs are not a good team. They're going to be a top 3 draft pick this year. They're probably 3-4 years away from competing for a high-level playoff spot. Does he want to spend the last year of his career potentially on a really bad team? He's never won a championship. It's well documented. He stays with the Warriors, he has a better shot than the Spurs. Or does he go somewhere else where maybe they don't need him as much, but he can ride and be part of the team that goes to the championship? So 2 things. Curry, clutch player of the year. You know it's going to happen. And we need Chris Paul to stay. Do you think he's a good fit with the Spurs? Comment your thoughts. And of course, please again, subscribe here to the Warriors Digest because we have all your news in Warriors land. Till next video.